Hello children, Structure of the Atom, Class 9, Subject Science, Chapter 1 and Part 6. So in the previous class, we have studied about the Rutherfords experiment, observation, conclusion and the drawbacks. Right? So in today's class, let us study about the discovery of neutron. So neutron was discovered by Chadwick in 1932. So, how did he discover neutron is the question. So, it was actually discovered while considering the mass of an atomic particles. Okay. So, we all know that proton is present inside the nucleus. Right. So, he found out that some other particle is also present in the nucleus which is contribute towards the mass and not towards the charge, because the number of proton is equals to number of electrons. Right. So, hence the atom is said to be neutral. If the other particle which is present inside the nucleus is contributing towards the charge, then it may carry some charge. It will not be in a neutral state. Right. Therefore, there is some other particle along with the proton which is contributing only towards the mass, whereas it is not contributing towards the charge of an atom. Nucleus contains some other particles also that contribute towards mass and not charge. Therefore, the particles were called neutrons. Okay. So, in general, a neutron is represented as lowercase n. So, that is the symbol which is used to represent neutron. The mass of an atom is therefore given by the sum of the masses of protons and neutrons present in the nucleus. So, what do you understand by this? So, the mass of an atom, the entire mass of an atom is nothing but when you add the mass of a proton and the mass of a neutron, you get the mass of an atom. So, that is how the neutron was discovered. Next, Bohr's model of atom. So, it was given by Niels Bohr, hence the name Bohr's model of atom. He actually tried to give his best by covering the drawbacks of Rutherford. So, what was the drawback of Rutherford? Let's recall it. Okay. So, he could not explain the electromagnetic theory. Right. So, what do you mean by electromagnetic theory? So, according to electromagnetic theory, when any charged particle revolves continuously in a circular path, it must emit energy and it should shorten its path. Right. So, this was the drawback, whereas this could not be explained by Rutherford. So, Bohr tried and he gave his best in order to cover the drawbacks of Rutherford. So, what happens? According to him, atom is electrically neutral. That is, the number of protons is equals to number of electrons, which all of us know, right? We have already studied. And in center of an atom, nucleus is present. In nucleus, protons and neutrons are present. Proton charge is positive and neutron charge is negative. Sorry, neutron charge is no charge. So, what happens? Outside nucleus, shells or energy levels designated as K, L, M, N, so on are present. So, what do you understand by this? See, according to Rutherford, outside the nucleus, electrons revolves. Right? So, this is the nucleus and electrons keeps revolving in a circular path. So, this was told by Mr. Rutherford. Whereas, what did Bohr explained us? He told us that outside the nucleus there will be shells, or it is also called as energy levels, which is named as K, L, M and so on. Okay, so the innermost shell is called K shell, followed by L, M, N and so on. Okay. So, in shells, electrons revolve and they are negatively charged. So, each shell has got some fixed number of electrons which is present and they keep revolving. And we all know that electron carries negative charge. Right? So this is how the model looks like. Nucleus is in the center and followed by K, L, M, N shells. And N is called as energy level index. Okay, so the innermost K shell has got N value as 1, L is 2, M is 3 and so on. Each shell has a fixed amount of energy. Okay, so what happens? Energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. Okay, hence each shell, which means K shell has got some fixed amount of electrons. L has got some fixed amount of energy. Okay, which means what? You cannot change the energy or you cannot change the electrons. Is it clear? So electrons never lose or gain energy when they are in their own shell. So this was the drawback of Rutherford. So Bohr has put up these two points where it solves the drawback of Rutherford's experiment. Okay. So what happens in Rutherford's experiment? He could not explain the emission of energy. Right? When any charged particle revolves in a circular path, it must emit energy. Right? Whereas what happens in Bohr's model, he has fixed the amount of energy for each shells. Therefore, electrons never lose or gain energy. Is it clear, children? And how electrons are distributed in different shells or orbits we will be studying in the next class. Summary: discovery of neutron, Bohr's model of an atom. So these are the questions. Neutron was discovered by dash. Neutron is represented by a letter dash. Third question, explain Bohr's model of an atom. And fourth question, number of protons is equals to dash. Thank you, children. Let's continue in next class.